let's talk about how Lyft is quote unquote screwing drivers again. And this is Sergio's writing, so he's going to have a fun little talk about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. This is another driver who, um, you know, look, when you guys do this and send it to me, and I'm going like, okay, I'm going to put this up because this is not just for this gentleman. This is for all of you. Okay, upfront fares, driver time is not important to Lyft. We know that, right? We definitely do know that. Okay, so you know how the trip goes significantly longer, right? In Uber's case, it will say under upfront fares, like a trip will go like 20 minutes extra, and then Lyft will go, no, you paid the right. Then you go, hit your head into the black hole Lyft support, and then they'll go, no, no adjustment, you got paid correctly. I'm like, buddy, I did 20 minutes extra work. Before upfront fares, I had a rate card, I would have gotten paid more, right? No. So we're working on that though. No worries. Hopefully we're going to change that this year. I enjoy you on the Rideshare Guy, and I thought you might be interested in a snapshot of how Lyft are miraculously operating in Los Angeles. Miraculously operating everywhere, sir, not just Los Angeles. There is a lot to unpack from the ride that I've attached screenshots of, so please bear with me. Okay, firstly, Lyft appears to be admitting wage theft here. They acknowledge that my trip would normally be adjusted, but previous trips have failed to match their estimated durations, so it appears I'm being punished with no adjustment. And this is, you're gonna see the screenshots. What the quote is of how many trips must match their estimations is known only to them. Absolutely. And needless to say, they seem to have no idea of what it is like to drive in Los Angeles. Absolutely not. Their estimated times are always off. I've been talking about this for what, a year now? Bro, Lyft, your estimates suck completely. Uber's is not that bad, but yours suck. When you send me upfront 10 miles and 20 minutes, and the trip goes 10 miles and 40 minutes, you need to pay me more. Because if I knew that was 10 miles and 40 minutes, I wouldn't have taken that trip to start with. So there's a lot of this bait and switch hocus pocus thing going on. I'm not liking it, and we're working on it. Trust me, people, we're working on it. We're going to change that. Secondly, to only pay $26 for a 30-mile Excel trip to the airport is ridiculous. Well, you took it, sir. On that one, I'm not going to say anything. Thirdly, for Lyft to cream off 37 for themselves is disgusting. That remains to be seen or up to debate. Lyft says it's completely transparent. We have a 70-30 guarantee. I called it hocus pocus. I keep calling it hocus pocus. I think it is hocus pocus. And finally, a crash on the 105. If you guys know LA, you can go to LAX many different ways. Delayed the trip for 30 minutes, after which one of the passengers who was a special needs announced that he was close to an accident of his own. You guys know what this means. I detoured to a McDonald's, but he didn't make it to the restroom in time. Another 30 minutes was spent cleaning himself up. Look what we go through, man. What was that lobbyist name?
Edge
Joel.
case.
Joel. Check this out. Why don't you do one of these and then you learn your 69 then, Joe? Okay. Now the passengers actually asked me if Lyft would be compensating me for the extra time. I explained to them that the upfront pricing scam made that unlikely. Correct. They did the decent thing and tipped. And sure enough, Lyft refused to pay me a single cent extra for the added time. Man, oh man. To say that Lyft is operating in a shady manner here is surely an understatement. How can it be lawful for them to withhold pay from drivers who have no knowledge of Matrix created entirely by Lyft? I mean, this is so eloquent. I can't even write this better. Thank you for reading and keep up the good work. Thank you, sir. So here we go with the screenshot. Here it is. Here it is. Estimate, Chris, 58 minutes. Okay. And 21.86 miles. Upfront was 26.67. And because the special needs passenger, had an accident, they were nice enough to tip this guy $20, which made it worth it. But hold on, that's not the big news. The big news is 58 minutes, 21.96 miles ended up being, because of the detour to McDonald's and all that stuff, to hour and 50 minutes and 33.5 miles. And Lyft said to this guy, no soup for you, sir. No adjustment. How do you like this?
It's crazy. If you can read in that screenshot underneath, it says the weekly earnings commitment. Underneath that, it says the ride changed significantly. So they acknowledge that it changed
But
significantly.
hold on.
But
Look
after the
what it
original
says there.
request,
Read that.
hold on, let me
Read that
finish.
part.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
But after the original request, but your earnings have not been adjusted because too many of your recent trips have exceeded the estimated time and distance by an excessive amount. To avoid this, we recommend following the suggested route and ending rides as soon as you drop off your passengers. Here's the problem with that. In LA, if there's an accident, you're fucked
Yeah.
when it comes to the time. And your estimates are always off.
Read that first sentence under May 11th, 10:27 a.m. Read that.
Your pay was not adjusted because too many of your trips exceeded time estimates.
It's because of your stupid estimate. Okay?
Yeah.
I did 22 trips. I put them on a spreadsheet. I drove an extra 22 minutes because your estimates suck. And this guy's being punished. They're blatantly telling him, your trips are going way too many of them going over. Not on us. I'm like, it's on you, Lyft. You're sending me the estimate. You suck. Your estimates suck.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're punishing me because of your stupidity, of your algos, whatever the hell is happening up in San Francisco over there, right? I mean, this is in what world is this just? In what world, Lyft?
One thing I always say is work smarter, not harder. If you aren't using the Solo app, then you may be working harder. So let's change that. Download the app, link your accounts where you can manage your income, track your expenses, and project your taxes. Not only that, but you can plan by optimizing your time, make more, and even guarantee your daily pay with guaranteed earnings. Download Solo and begin to work smarter, not harder today. Link is in the description. All right, let's get back to it.
Okay.
In
I sent this to them too. They didn't say edge case, thank God. They go, we're looking into it. I'm like, yeah, keep looking into it. Do something about it. How about this? How about you send this guy an extra $20? No,
the problem
of course
is
not.
the issue is years ago when I first signed up for Lyft, I knew from the get-go that their estimates sucked. So when you get that little request that said 8 minutes away and you click accept, you're like, oh, it's 8 minutes away. Okay, perfect. No. It was like 12 to 14 minutes away.
I get that.
And that's with no traffic on the road because I always drove at night and I hated traffic. So
yeah, but that's not the
your
issue.
estimates always have sucked.
I know, but that's the pickup estimate, which is bad on Uber too. What this is look,
Both.
without upfront fares, with a rate card, this wouldn't happen to this guy.
Yep.
Period. Because I slide it over, I start the trip. The meter starts 80 cents a mile, 13 cents a minute. That's the rate. And on Excel, it was like $1.10 a mile and 25 cents a minute. That's the meter. When I slide it over, finish it, that's when the meter stops. That's what I get paid. With upfront fares, okay, here's the deal. Do you think they charge this rider more because this trip went longer?
I know. But one, if you think that they charged you
well,
more, but
it's
two,
on
if
the
you think
right-hand
they
side.
kept it the
It's on the
same.
right-hand side. The receipt.
Oh, did it? Hold on.
Yeah, right there.
Change screenshot.
$62 they charge the rider.
Woo.
Look at that external expense, Chris.
Woo. $36. Wow. And then they claim that they only took 91 cents of that trip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How do you like that? Pretty good, huh? Pretty good gig if you can get it. I mean, seriously,
really.
Lyft. See, when Richard comes on, I'm going to show him this. I go, what? Talk to me about this. Yeah. But this time, we're going to have screenshots, David. It's not going to be like last time.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Anyway, so thank you for your email. I appreciate it. And Lyft, we know we're working on this. We know the significantly thing is not working. We talked about this. You guys said you're working on this. It's time we fix it. Give us like a, I don't know, give us like a present and say, hey man, if a trip goes longer, by miles and minutes. We're just going to go to the rate card that you had in LA, 80 cents a mile, 13 cents a minute, and we're just going to give you the extra cash off of that. The upfront is going to stay. Or Lyft, what you should do a top off. Instead of trip by trip by trip, just like you're doing with your Hocus Pocus 70-30 guarantee here, right? You should do a top off like Prop 22 over the whole week. Look at the estimate, and Lyft, to Lyft's credit, they're a lot more transparent than Uber when it comes to this. On the left-hand side of the box, it says the original estimate. On the right hand, it gives you the actual. Uber doesn't do that. Uber learned from Lyft. This is good, actually. So Lyft is clearly putting out the information correctly out there, and here we go. That's what it is.
This is what Lyft and Uber want to do when they call it upfront fares, making it better and more transparent. They're making square wheels instead of just they're trying to reinvent the wheel. Taxi cabs had the meter running from the get-go, and it seems like a pretty good way to go. So did Uber and Lyft until they changed it. So that right there is my interpretation of them trying to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, Bruno, that's not that easy. Most we have 15 seconds to make a decision to accept or not to accept. Most drivers are kind of mass challenged, and then to figure out what's that accept, not accept 10% more. They're going to screw me by this much. Well, that's too much work. Just be upfront, Lyft. Okay, at the end of the week, and all the trips that went over. Figure out you drove 15 extra miles and 2 extra hours this week. Okay. What was that? 15 miles would have been times 80 cents, $12. 2 hours, 120 minutes times 13 cents would have been another $20. Send the guy $30, $32, whatever it's going to be, like a top off.
I like that.
Just like you're doing with the 70-30. When we're under 70, what are you doing? You're giving us the top off every Thursday, right? Do it. It's simple. Let's move on.
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you'll be notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.